We have time for one more question. Right here in the front.
Hi, Dr. Carson. My name is Rod Weber. I traveled from Boston to see you. You talk a lot about the Bible, so there's just a couple things that I wanted to throw out there. Proverbs 6:16 through 9, Revelation 11:18, and the final one was Matthew 25:35. The first one has to do with having the blood of innocent hands on them. I think in today's day and age we have things like active denial system, which is microwave pulse technology that we can use that we don't have to use drone strikes to blow people up like Ted Cruz would say. The second one, Revelation, talks about that God will destroy the destroyers of the earth. A lot of Republicans talk about repealing things in the EPA and things of this nature, but I would argue that with stakes so high that maybe we should give that more consideration. And the last one, Matthew 25:35, is I was hungry, so you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. And finally, I was a stranger in your land, so you let me into your house, and you gave me a place to stay. And I think this applies to the immigration issue, which we're hearing about so much. And so I was wondering how you could reconcile your belief in Scripture, with some of the ideologies that seem to conflict.
Okay. Well, Jesus talked a lot about compassion. And, I believe very strongly that compassion is our job. It's not the government's job. To take care of the indigent in our society is something that we should be doing. And it's those relationships that make the difference. Case in point, you look at all the out-of-wedlock births that are going on in the inner city. I believe that the best solution is for the private sector to provide a support system for that mother so that she will have that baby and not abort that baby, and then to provide a setting so that that child can be taken care of, daycare, and she can go back to school and get her GED or her associate's degree or her bachelor's degree and learn how to take care of herself and teach her children to take care of themselves. That's how you break those cycles of poverty. You will not break those cycles of poverty by saying, there, you poor little thing, I'm going to take care of everything, all your problems. That's not compassionate. And that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been guilty of. And that's why, when the government, decided in the 60s to have a war on poverty, the government was going to eliminate it. How did that work out? $19 trillion later, we have 10 times more people on food stamps, more poverty, welfare, broken homes, out-of-wedlock birth, crime, incarceration. Everything is not only worse, it's much worse. And that's not the government's job. And maybe they should read the Constitution. Well, let me just finish. And I think maybe they got confused when they read the preamble to the Constitution, where it talks about one of the duties is to promote the general welfare. And they thought that meant to put everybody on general welfare. but that's not what it means, obviously. And when we get involved ourselves and take care of each other, those are the programs that I have seen across the country that really work extremely well. As far as the refugees in other parts of the world, in Syria, for instance, I've been over there, I've talked to them and asked them what is their desire. Their desire is to be repatriated in their own country. And there's a perfectly good way of doing that. The whole northeast section of Syria, Al-Saqqa province, is controlled by the Kurds and the Christians and the Sunnis. All it needs is a commitment of an international force to protect the people there. And that's a perfectly good solution until you get peace in that country once again. So I don't think we have to take them in, but I do strongly believe that we should consider a lot of the Christians around the world, the Yazidis and people who are being religiously persecuted, but I still think we have to have a much better screening mechanism to make sure that they're not being infiltrated by people who are jihadists who want to just take advantage of the situation. So, compassion, I'm 100% with that, but it has to be intelligent compassion.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Dr. Carson has a few minutes to shake your hands and take pictures, so y'all just line up and we'll orchestrate.